sort of block here? Are you able to find it? Can I get response for this? You are not able to understand, right? Which which collection is related to which skill, or which data item is related to which skill, and we are not able to find it, right? So for this, what we do is we make use of this block stage. This, with the help of this block stage, what happens is, let's say I have this IBM authentication action, right? So whatever the data items or collections related to this particular stage, I can group them, something like this. See, I'll show you by grouping them now. So here it is. With the help of these blocks, I have to group them, and I have here a name I have given as IBM auth. Okay, auth is nothing but an authentication. So IBM auth. Now you will be able to find easily, right, what data items and what collections are related to which stage. This will be helpful for us finding which state has, like, which sort of data items and collections are related to a stage. Okay, this is how we make use of our block stage. Okay, so now then we have our page, or sorry, process. So this process stage is a stage where whenever you publish different sort of let's say here in my object studio, when you see, or in my process studio, when you see here, I have many processes built, right? Let's say I want to create a process here. I want to create a process and I want to combine both the process. So how do I do it? This can be achieved with the help of this stage, this process stage. When you drag this process stage and double click on this, you will be finding all the processes what are there in my process studio. With this, I can just select and click on OK. So my process will comes here. Now I can make use of the inbuilt or like I can make use of this already build process and continue my working, like continue my building a new process. Okay, this is how our process stages are being used. Then we have a page stage. Page stages are being used when we like I've been talking something regarding a sub page, right? I've been talking regarding some sub pages. To create a sub page, we make use of a page stage. Okay, with the help of the sub stages only, we create a sub pages. Okay, so then we have a action stage. Action stage is a place where I was talking something about regarding a object studio, right? Object studio cannot be published directly to your control room. I told this statement earlier, right? So here what happens, whenever you publish a work or a digital worker which is built in your object studio, it comes to your process studio. Okay, now in this action stages, I can find all these business studios whatever been there for me. So here it is. Okay, with this help, I connect my process and object studio, and then I publish that particular shot to my control room, or that particular digital worker to my control room. In connecting in connecting both different studios, that is your process studio and your object studio, we make use of this action stage. Okay, and then we have a decision stage. Let's say I want to create a flow where I have to take yes or no decision. I want to make a digital bot where it has to take yes or no decisions at that sort of time, or at that particular of instance. We go with our decision stage. Here we just give our conditions and we make use of the flow. Like if you drag it to your right, you'll get yes or no. I'll show you all this process. I'll show you. I'm just first explaining how the stages have been used. Once it is done, I'll show you by building the processes. Okay, so then you have a choice stage. Combination of these decisions is known as a choice. Okay, here if you have only a single decision or a single condition, you will give in this decision stage. but you want to satisfy different conditions, like multiple conditions, then we switch to our choice stage. Okay, this is a combination of our decisions. And then we have a calculation stage. Let's say if I want to perform some arithmetic operations, with this arithmetic operations are being performed with the help of my calculation stage. Here in this calculation stage, I can perform only a single arithmetic operations at a time. Okay, if I want to perform multiple arithmetic operations at a single instance, then I have to go with a multi calculation stage. Okay, multi calculation stage is a stage where helps us to perform multiple arithmetic operations at a simultaneously or parallelly. Okay, then we have a data item. Let's say when you are coding, you'll set some variables, right? Where a equals to so and so number, where b equals to so and so number. What this variable is doing here, or this where is doing here, it is carrying the number, it is carrying the value, right? In the same way, we make use of these data items to carry the data. Okay, to carry the value. Okay, the value might be any, it might be a difference. So here I'll show you what data items are there, what data types are there, sorry. So I have a date, I have a date and time, I have a flag. This flag data type is nothing but this response what we get out of this decision stage. Okay, the output what we get out of this decision stage, or when we use of these decision stages, are known as a flag, which are yes or no type, right? So that are known as a flag. Then a number, password, all these are some sort of data types which are been handled by or stored by this data item. Okay, so then I have a collections. This collections are nothing but this collection stages helps us to uh, combine different sort of data items again. Let's say here what's happening, I'm able to give only a single data item, right? I'm able to select only a single data item and give some my value. But when you want to store different multiple data items at a one go, then we go with this calculation stage. I'll show you how to make use of this calculation stage in my next processes. Okay, so then I have a loop stages. Like, let me hear this from you guys. What is a loop? When do you use this loop? Like these loops have been used when you write your code even, right? Great. For a repetitive iterations, if you want to perform a single function, or if you want to perform a single condition for multiple rows, then we go with a loop conditions. So that what happens, if I have a multiple rows, let's say more than a one row to be executed in this collection stage, if you use this loop stage, all these rows gets executed, the functionality gets executed for all the rows present in my collection stage. Okay, now, like they have said, like repetitive iterations, right? To perform this repetitive iterations, we go with this loop stage. Then I have a note is a stage where we can make a note of, let's say, what I have worked till now. Okay, let's say I have built a some calculation stage and what is pending, all that notes I can carry out here itself. When I open my process studio, I'll have my complete information here. Okay, this is how we make use of a notes. Then our anchors. See, these anchors are used in different ways. This, even if I tell you now, you'll not be able to understand. I'll just explain this when I help, like when I work on hands-on. Okay. Yeah, comments, even comments you can give. Nothing wrong if you use this for giving comments also in our notes. These notes are same as you use notes in your mobiles, right? You make use of all your works or your pending work. Like we usually make a note of all our works, right? What work we have dealt till now, what is pending, and all these things. And same for that purpose, this notes has been introduced here. Now I have an end stage. End stage is nothing but it's a final stage. Once after this end, it will not be executing anymore. Okay. And alert. And one more difference, when you go to your Object Studio, you will not find this particular stage there. Alert stage is not been available for us in our Object Studio. Okay, as alert stage can be configured only to the flows which are been published to my control room. Okay, until and unless you publish a flow to your control room, you'll not be able to configure your alert stage. Alert stages are used to show a notification. Let's say you are building a mobile applications. You show a notifications, right? You even get some notification links, like when you play, like most of them students are, your students are there here, and I guess all the students play PUBG. You get updates regarding PUBG on your notifications, right? How do you get this notification? Because they set some alerts there, like, and they write notification code there, right? In the same way, if you wanted to get notifications regarding this digital workers, we use this alert stage. With this help of this alert stage, we get, or we configure our notifications. Okay, and then we have a exception stage. Let's say when I'm working with some my digital worker has been executed, and if I have some errors, like if my digital worker has been caught with some error, this exceptions, the errors are being stored in this exception stage. Okay, so use of this recovery and resume, I'll tell you in my Object Studio. When I'm performing my Object Studio, I'll tell you. Okay, so till here, is everyone clear? Is everyone clear with the like how these stages are being used, how the different stages are being used? Are you all clear with this? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And sorry to say, but a small request to all the participants is, as the management or organizing team has already informed that feedback links will be given at the end of the session, right? I request you people to please wait for it, because as the chat is opened here for me, chat window is opened for me, and if you post this feedback links, messages, it has been somewhat disturbing for me. Okay.
Sir, actually, if they post for the feedback link, we are removing them, sir, from the Zoom.
Okay, but it's just like it is disturbing for me, so that is what I have to mention. Sorry for that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And yeah, so now let's get started with our working. Okay, so your real working or the excitement will start from here. Now I'll say, see, I'll compare my coding and low coding links. Both I'll compare now. Just see. I am calculating two numbers now, guys. Okay, I'm calculating two numbers. I'll just create a bot for it. See, I'll make use of my collection stage here. I'm dragging my calculation stage in between start and end. Okay, I just dragged it. And as I've told, we'll be using where to store my values, right? So in the same way, in place of variables, we are using data items. Okay, drag your three data items to add two numbers. What are required? A, B, and C. This is required, right? A for storing a value, B for storing a B value, and the value what we get by adding this both numbers, we store it in a C, right? As we use three variables, we'll drag just three data items here. Just see, second data item and a third data item. Okay, now let me give a number to it. Name as A, data type as a number, as I'm giving a number there, right? So that's what I'm giving a number there as 23 and clicking on OK. Okay, then data item 2, give a name as B, select the data type as a number, and give the initial value, some random initial values. Okay, go to your 3, give the name as C, and your data type as a number again. By adding two numbers, you get a number, right? So give a number, but your initial value should be empty here. The reason behind sorry. So the reason behind keeping this initial value empty is I have to store the addition of two numbers here, right? I have to store the resultant of my A plus B. That is what I give my initial value. I keep my initial value as empty. Okay, and then click on. right? Now what I plan to do, I plan to add both numbers, right? Let's go to this number data type, drag my a to this expression. Excuse me, sorry. And then as I wanted to add, I just give a add symbol, like plus symbol there. I just give my plus symbol, okay? And then I want to add b there, drag your b. And this both addition outcome should be stored in my C data item, right? So that is what I am dragging C data item to my store resultant. Okay. And one more thing, what you have to do here is you have a validate and you have a evaluate expressions, right? So let's say I want to validate this expression. Whatever the expression has been given here, is it correct or not? I want to check. So then you can just click on this validate option. So you'll be able to understand whether this option is correct or not. Let me give here a wrong expression and show you what happens. Now, if I'm clicking a validate, here you can see error has been thrown. It is suggesting me how to write the expression. See here, by just reading this outcomes, or by just reading the suggestions, you will be able to understand what error you have done there. Okay. So that is what I stated, like, non-technical, if even the non-technical guy comes and starts learning this, he can learn easily. Okay. This is how we validate our expression. And now I have an option called evaluate expression, right? Evaluation of expression is nothing but I have given a plus b. I have to check whether this expression is working perfectly or not. That I can do by clicking on this evaluate expression. Here I can give some number as 23, some random number. Again here a random number and click on test. So what expression is? It is like a plus b. My a value and b value should be added. So here you can see when I click on test, it is adding 23 plus 34 is 57, right? So that with this, what we can state that our expression is working perfectly, right? Just click on OK and then click on OK. Now go to your link. With the help of link stage, I'll just link my start with my calculation and my calculation with my end stage. Reset the flow as told, reset the flow and run it. Your calculation is given there. Now the participants, you tell me, writing a code is easier or using the stages is easier for you? To write a code, we have to spend time, and by just adding adding two numbers, we have to write some 6 to 7 lines, I guess, if I am not wrong. Am I correct? In your C language, you use some 6 to 7 or roughly 8 lines, not more than that, but you use still 8 lines minimum, right? Writing 8 lines is easier, or using the steps is easier? What the participant feels? Can I expect the answers from some max number? Let's not waste my time. So this is how by this way, what we are doing, we are saving our time, right? If we are having any errors, we are giving a easier, like errors have been found easier, right? So this is why now this particular technology has been demand, and by Gartner, according to the Gartner, by the end of 2022 or by the start of 23, every company, or every MNC, it might be a startup or any company, every company will have these technologies in their companies. It might be in HR department, it might be a separate wing of this RPA, it might be any, but every company will have for sure this particular technology in their companies. Okay, so this is how we can use our calculation stage. Okay, and my data items. Now what I do, as you see, now you have seen the use of my calculation and my data items, right? Now I'll make use of my collections. So I'll make use of my collections instead of my ABC data item. Okay. And guys, I am just going with a basic arithmetic because, I'm not sure that, every faculty or a student present here should know the coding, right? I'm not sure. So that is what I'm just going with a simple arithmetic so that everyone out there, if a person, here, if we have some non-technical guy, even he'll be able to understand, right? So that's the reason I'm just going with a basic arithmetics. And tomorrow's process also will be a very basic one where everyone can understand. Okay. So here, let's see before what I have done, I've used 3 data items to store A, B, and C values, right? But now what I'll be doing is instead of going with A, B, C, what I do is I'll go with my collections. Okay. So here what I'll do is I'll create 3 data items here. Add. Okay. 3 fields I've added. I'm giving a name A. I'm giving a name B. And I'm giving a name C. And I'm giving their data types. Number, a number. Okay. And then go back to your initial values. Here is what I can define number of initial values, right? Click on add. You can add multiple times, or you can give multiple values to your A, and you can perform operations for different, multiples. Let me add different things. Okay. I'll show you how this loop stages will also use here. So I've given some random 24, random 25, and some random numbers here. Okay. Let me do this process soon. I'm just giving some random numbers to just show you. Okay. So I've given my initial values, and the current values will become after our execution. Okay. Now just click on add. Asset, like go to your collection part. Earlier we had our data items, right? So that is what it was showing, just A, B, C. But now what we have done, we have used collection 1, collection 1A, collection 1B, collection 1C, right? So that is the reason you can see there is a difference now. I have to remove this expression and change this expression as this collection 1A plus collection 1B, right? And I have to store this result in this collection 1C, right? And then click on OK. Now just reset your flow, run your flow. Here you go. My calculations is done. 24 plus 25, 49, right? My first row has been executed. Why my second and third, the rest of the rows are not been executed? Because I've not given them, like I've not told it, I want to execute the calculation operation for all the rows. In this cases only we go with this loop stage. See here, I'll just add a loop here. Okay. I'll just add a loop here. Just go to select your pointer, move this end stage a bit down, remove this collection. To delete the connection between 2 different stages, you have to click on this arrow headed here, click on this arrow headed and click on delete. Okay. Click on delete on your keyboard. This is one way. And the other way is like select this arrow headed, right click and click on delete. Okay. These are 2 ways where you can delete your connections. Now drag my loop stage here. I'll just move this calculation a bit down and drag it here. Now with the help of this link stage, I'll start with my loop my calculation with my loop end and with my end. So here in this loop, I have to select which sort of collection to be chosen. Like, okay, here we have to give the collection. So in this collection, we have some 5 rows, right? So that collection should be given in this loop starter. So here you see collection 1 I have given and clicking on OK. just reset the flow and run the flow. So here the flow speed, what you are able to see is not the speed with it works. It usually works with a high speed. Okay, you can see here beside my play button, I have a drop down where I can manage my speed. So I've just set it to normal just to understand. Okay, you people should know the step-by-step procedure, right? If I just reset it and set it as a fast, you'll be able to know how fast this debugging happens. Done. Just click is enough. You are done, right? So in this, if I run the or if I run this debugging process in my fast speed, you'll not be able to understand how the process is running, right? So that's the reason I've moved it to a normal stage. Okay, even when you run this flow from your control room, the speed what it has taken or the time what it has taken to execute in a fast speeding, like fast mode, will be much faster. The much faster execution happens when you run from your control room. Okay, so we can even set our execution speed here. So now when you use this loop stage, you can see all my 5 rows have been calculated. Okay, this is how we make use of our collection stage to, instead of going with the multiple data items, we just go with this collection stage where I can add different sort of data items, okay, at just one go. And all the to perform operations for multiple rows, the same operation for the multiple rows, we go with a loop stage. Is everyone clear with your collection stage, loop stage, collection stage, and your data item? Are these all 4 stages clear to all? Are you all clear with these 4 stages? Everyone? Okay, I'll repeat the loop stage. So this as set loop stages are used to perform repetitive operations, right? So here you see I have a 5 rows. I have a 5 rows in my initial stage. If I don't use my loop stage, only my first row will be executed and it ends the process. But I don't want to do it. I want all the values, like I want this operation, this addition operation to be performed on all my 5 rows, right? So that what happens with the help of this loop stage, my this operations or the expression what I've given in this calculation is been performed on all my 5 rows. Okay, but in this loop stage you have to give a collection name. Okay, let's say here in this collection I have a 5 rows, right? I have a 5 rows of data in my collection 1. That is what in this loop start I have to set this collection as a collection 1. Okay, I wanted the rows which are stored in this collection 1 to be executed, right? That is what I'm giving a collection 1 here. So is it clear now? For the participants who have asked, is it clear for you now? Thank you. So sir, can I continue the session or should I drop it down?
It's up to you, sir. No problem.
For me, it's not an issue. I can take for next 15 to 10 minutes. But
okay, sir, you can continue. If any participants has network issues, they may see the recording version.
Okay, before the participants leave, I have a small request. Like even we have a feedback form which has to be shared to a company, Direct Blue Prism. So guys, before leaving this meet, please do fill this form. Okay, just give me a minute. I'll stop my sharing and share the link with you. Yep, participants, I've shared the link in chat. So I request all the participants before you leave the session to please fill the feedback form. It is really important for us. Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible to you all, and you all have got your feedback links, like the link from our end and the link from the organizing college end. So now let's move with I request Varsha to please give my email ID to Jyoti, to Miss Jyoti. Varsha, please give my email ID to Miss Jyoti. Yeah. So now let's continue with our, I'll not take much of your time. Just give me a 5 minutes. I'll just explain this multi calculation and I'll stop. Okay. Rest we'll see tomorrow. So now you have seen a single like here what happens with the help of your calculation stage, you are able to perform only a single arithmetic operation, right? Now when you go with your multi calculation, you can perform multiple calculations, or you can perform multiple arithmetic operations at a go. I'll tell you how. Drag your multi calculation stage on your editor in between this loop. Okay, as I wanted to perform it on all the stages, like let's not use this loop stage now. Let me delete this loop stage, and here even let me not use this collections. Okay, let me go with a simple data item. Here I am just adding a data item. Let me add 4 data items. Okay guys, let me add a 4 data items. Okay, now when I double click on my multi calculation, here you can see I have a direct option of giving my expressions, right? Before giving this expression, I have to set this data items. Let me set this data item as number, give the name as A, and the number is 23. Okay, click on OK and B. And the data item is again a number, and the value has been given here 45. Okay, so now let me give the names even to this as C and leave this empty, and D as a give the name as D, and let me even leave this empty. Okay, so now what I do is in this expression section, I'll give my expression. First expression as usual, I'll minus A minus B. Okay, I'll subtract 2 numbers, and then I'll store just a second. The data item is the number here. Okay. And yep, so sorry guys, please select SmartBridge as your training company. In your feedback link, which has been provided by us, please do select the training company as a SmartBridge. And here again, I give a data type as a number for my D. Okay. Okay. Click on OK. Okay. So here you can see, you can find all my data items under my numbers, right? So here what I'm doing, I'm performing subtraction operation for A minus B, and I'm storing this result in my C. Okay, so I'm adding a one more arithmetic operation here. I want the resultant which comes out of A minus B to be stored in C, and the C resultant, whatever the resultant might be, I want this resultant to be multiplied by some number. I can give number directly here as a 4 even. Okay, and storing it in a D. Okay, now even what happens, the final resultant after A minus B and C multiplied by some X number, whatever I given there, should be stored in a D, right? So now I wanted this D to be divided. So the same thing again, just drag your D to your expressions, give your division. Here's a division and 2. Just check your expression here. It's a valid one. Click on OK. Here you have to see the data items, I'm showing you another way of creating your data items. Okay, so here you can see your data item. I can give as E, but here you see I don't have a data item with a name E, right? Here I've just given a store in value as E and clicking on this store data item. So here you can see my data item with E got created. This is the other way to create your data item. Okay, and now click on OK. Oh, sorry, just click on OK and link them. Link start with your multi-calculation with your end. Now move this data item to here. Reset and run. Here you go. You're performing multiple arithmetic operation is done in a minutes. I'm not bothered about the result, okay, because I'm not sure what numbers I gave. That's the reason. Okay, so here you can see I just wanted to show the participant how the stages have been used. Okay, so here you can see your multiple operations have been performed in just a go, right? Do you think writing a code to perform this multiple sort of operations is easier? No, right? So that's the reason we just go with this particular technology. Just drag a stage, a multi-calculator stage, give the operations whatever you want to perform and click on go. You can see your resultant over here. So are you all clear with your multi-calculation? Are you all clear with multi-calculation stage, guys?